Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Austin Saunier. I am an incoming first year medical student at William Carey University. I'm an amateur philosopher, an aspiring military psychiatrist, and an overall observer of humanity, and I'm here today to bring you my first self-help video. And today I wanted to give you a visual model of discipline and talk about free will. And at the end of the video, I'm going to use what we learned and kind of give you a small challenge, and we'll see what kind of impact that makes in your life. So we're gonna start with nature and nurture. I'm not gonna dive into it, but I'm gonna assume you guys know what nature and nurture is. Um, and together those make your intrinsic being, let's say, and this is gonna be your intrinsic being. This is gonna be our starting point, right? And throughout our lives, we're going to reach roadblocks. And we know we've reached a roadblock. Our bodies and our minds are very good at telling us this by something like a negative emotion, right? That's what emotion serves to do for us. It serves to preserve ourselves and inform ourselves. So today's example is going to be self-image and going to the gym. That's something I'm really passionate about. But so your normal day-to-day life is you eat, like, let's say 8 nuggets. I've been eating a lot of Chick-fil-A, so we'll say imagine 8 Chick-fil-A nuggets. You have that every day, and you don't exercise. Um, and let's say you don't exercise because you never really enjoyed it, right? Just part of your intrinsic being, you've just never been attracted to sports. Um, But you look in the mirror one day and you're not satisfied with what you see. And you want something to change, or your body's telling you, I think something should change. Now, of course, this is going to be hard, right? This is why a lot of people get stuck in, a job even for 10 or 20 years where, to take a gamble is very tough, emotionally. But I'm gonna challenge you to live high, like who you want to be rather than who you are, right? So on this side, we're gonna say this is choice one, right? So this roadblock leads us to a choice, a fork in the road, as we've heard in metaphors. And on the right, we have good, and let's say we start small because we can't run a marathon yet, but we can start with a 10-minute run. On the left, we have a bad choice. And let's say that's upping our nugget intake to 10 a day. 10 a day. If we make one choice, of course, we're going to hit a fork in the road. Let's say even just the next day. And again, we're going to be faced with a good option and a bad option. And we're going to keep going. Just to illustrate this a little ways out. Good, bad, right? So we're increasing our nugget intake on this axis here, and we're just increasing our run over here. Now the good thing about discipline is it opens up new options for you, right? Options that you might not have even been able to see from where you started, right? Now over here, you hear people say like, "Oh my gosh, I'm looking back, and if you would have told me 3 years ago, I never would have thought I was here." Well, yeah, because you made certain decisions and you were operating in one way. But this is what discipline allows for you. It allows new options to open up in your life. So after a few good decisions, you went from a 10-minute run to a 20-minute run. And the cool thing about discipline, though, is if you get on the bad track, there's always a way back. There's free will that allows you to come back. Now, I'm not arguing that that might be easy for you. Some people are proud of me for going to the gym, and for me, I'm not very proud of that because it just happens to be easy for me. I enjoy it. But one time there was a guy that came into our gym, really large guy, like had to be 400 pounds, and I wish I would have told him, but I didn't. But I went home thinking how proud of that guy I was because for me, I was already in shape, so to go to the gym wasn't much of a challenge. But for him, he was taking the step towards who he wanted to be instead of who he was. So it was going to take him a long time, right? With this trajectory, he's so far from the good path, but there's always a way back, right? If we look at, let's say, we're taking these good choices, it's going to take us a while, but we're going to keep going and we can get back on the path. Um, and of course, if we make a lot of good choices, one bad choice won't derail us that much. Compare those trajectories. All this to say that although we have an intrinsic being, I think we have free will and we can make change when we put in conscious effort. So one thing that we need to come back to is that with our intrinsic being, you might notice if you reflect after this video that you don't really control your thoughts, right? And one thing we kind of put implicitly forward is that we don't control what we like either. But we can put effort into our lives. We can take time, let's say meditating every day, to think about the past day and the choices we made and to think, is this how I want my life to go? Now, where do we even start with becoming our best selves? Like I said earlier, we must act like who we want to be, not who we are. It's uncomfortable, and I'll talk about that concept and then my personal story in other videos. But I stand here hopefully to tell you, and hopefully you believe me, that it can be done. You can change your body, you can change your mind, you can change your social status, your financial status, and it just takes a little effort. So we could start by writing down a goal and seeing our goal every day. So after this video, take a minute or two and write yourself a simple, small goal that you'd like to work on for the next few days or weeks until our next video. And make sure you write it out and put it somewhere that you're going to see every day. Now, the thing about this is it's very simple. I'm a logical person. I like to quantify things, but the simple way to taking steps there is very arbitrary. It's seeing my goal every day and it's in my mind, and so I'm going to be faced with that option every day. And sometimes I'm going to challenge myself, and sometimes I'm going to yield. That's all I'm asking you to do for the next few days or weeks. There is a world-class weightlifter, his name's Lasha, and I watched an interview with his coach one time, and his coach said, sometimes with Lasha I must kiss him, and sometimes I must slap him, right? And that's what we need to do with ourselves. And believe it or not, after a while, you'll notice some changes where sometimes you slap yourself. You say, I want to be here, and I'm going to put in some effort today. And sometimes maybe something's going on in your life. Some days you're just going to be off. And you take the time to nurture yourself and get ready for the next day. The goal of this channel is just to make you think. I'm begging you to consider in this video what you want out of life, and then I'm challenging you to take a little action on it. It doesn't have to be I must make 4 good choices in a row or have 4 good days in a row and then one bad day. No, I'm just asking you very loosely to just write down your goals, see it, think about it during the day. Notice that you have an option to stay where you are or to work towards where you want to be. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any feedback or anything, please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and consider subscribing. I'd also like you to leave a comment on what your goal is that you're going to work on until our next video. I'd love to be able to interact with you guys over the web. So until next time, thanks for watching. See you guys.